that changed his life. A big round of applause while the guest speaker takes the stage. Maybe a chair. Support power.
Is this fine? Right. Photo connect.
I got it. Thank you, ma'am. That was great. All right, I saw that big Christmas tree. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Okay.
I want to thank you all so very much for inviting me here. PSSM Global Team, Naresh, Sunil, Sarisha, the team here that has created this beautiful land. And Debbie for such a beautiful. Of course, I already shared that. Everyone who's here. And I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
That's I'm a bad host. I introduced Chandrika Yamidala.
Chandrika, okay. Of course, wonderful that and everyone who's come all this way to this very special land. It's a great honor and a pleasure. Look at it for me to come here. Right there. My group was the Western Saints. And it touches my heart deeply. Community is shared here. PSSM Global. It's a great honor to be in the shadow of Patriji, who I've never met. I want to tell you a good story. So my teacher was actually assassinated by the government. He was going on a show, which is a little outside its body of the world. There is only God. Everything is God. There's nowhere that God is not. People say, where is God? I say, where is God not? God lives inside every atom. In every being, in all time, in all space, in all dimensions, throughout eternity, the Creator exists. Yeah. Lives within you as you. And he passed away in 2010. He was under a lot of pressure. He had had a lot of experiences in his life, and I'm going to lead you into pyramid energy here, but I wanted to give you this introduction so that you can understand how a Westerner can join forces with the East and West, like Vivekananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, and the teachings of Mahavatar Babaji. A psychic who speaks to people who have passed over on the other side, said, would you like a reading? And I said, I have a lot of science background. My teacher was a master on the fifth grade of concrete science and knowledge. His great uncle invented a telephone, and you drive a car. His father invented the automatic transmission and the alternator for Henry Ford. He was studying the shock wave of the atomic bomb at 15. He was working at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, which is very near Henry Ford's plant. He was growing hemp in the fields, and he wanted to make cars run on hemp, ethanol, not gasoline. And there are forces of greed and materialism in this world, in every culture. I think lower the gain on the microphone there, we get a little feedback. So from a very early age, he was a genius. I showed his astrology, and every person said, this is a scientist. This is a great physicist. And when we understand our past lives, we may not know them or remember them. But this is a veil of the material world. And this is what is transforming the earth now as a new awareness of the teachings of God. And it's coming forth through nature. God provides evolution. People say, did God create the universe or did we evolve? They're not mutually exclusive. God created us to evolve. God works through us. We are the instruments of God. And at a very early age, I wanted to know the truth. So I was reading a book about psychic discoveries behind the Iron Curtain. I was like 15 or 16. And I was very interested in pyramids. I just wanted to know. And in 1974, I was talking to a girl. She goes, I know the Pyramid Man. And I said, the Pyramid Man? Really? You know the Pyramid Man? So she told me where he lived. I went up to his house. He had pyramids all around. And I was in there, and his girlfriend said, he's not here yet, but he'll be here. And in 1974, he walked in with steel framed pyramids plated in orgone, gold and metal. And what did we do with the pyramids? So we put them on our head. This is 5 years before Patriji read Pyramid Power by Bill Scholl and Ed Pettit. And I knew those guys. I knew Pat Flanagan and Fred Bell. And so I was very involved in understanding the Pyramid Power. And, when I first tried it, I didn't really feel it. I said, well, I don't know. When I took it off, I felt it. Because pyramid energy affects your chakras. Chakras are force centers at etheric levels. This is the electromagnetic body that we have. And it affects the hormones. What are your hormones? You have the pineal gland. You have the pituitary gland. You have the thyroid gland. You have the thymus gland. You have the pancreas. You have the splenic chakra. You have the sexual organs. And the root chakra is actually the adrenal glands. So there's a flower, and the flower has a little that goes to the chakra, which is a physical gland that secretes hormones. You are a rainbow of 7 colors and frequencies. And there are many things aligned against your body. In the Mahabharata, Krishna came and Arjuna did not want to fight. He said, you must fight. Whenever Prashanti overwhelms the world, the God incarnates from age to age to restore the Shastras, the teachings, and the message of God. And nowhere on earth is a spiritual knowledge greater than in India. I am very fortunate that I have met Mahavatar Babaji. That's another story. But he taught me Kriya Yoga. He sat me down and he rolled his eyes back in his head. See, his eyes went white and then they kept rolling. He was very small, like a 19-year-old boy. And he bestowed upon me the science of Kriya Yoga. This is the science of the still breath. In absolute silence, the circulation of the breath. Coming in from the heavens into the earth and through your body. And by sitting in silence, you can listen to God. I can't tell you how to talk to God. This must come from a desire within you to know the truth. And my life has been a search for truth. And I have knocked upon the door, looking for you. Excuse me. Okay. I'm very emotional right now. I've knocked upon the door for a long time. And the more I've learned, the less I know. Knowledge are only steps on the endless ladder, the yoni. In the end, the yoni must become the bhakti. And the bhakti must become the yoni. We must merge spiritual life with the understanding of the reality that we live in and the laws of God and the nature of the universe. So it is against this background of my life that my teacher, who was a very famous whistleblower, at the age of 16, the government grabbed him from his home, which is illegal, and said, "You're going into the Air Force." And they brought him out to California, where I went to college at UC Santa Barbara. And he got a PhD in physics at 17. Wow. Okay. So now he's in the Air Force for 3 years. And in 1963, he's 20 years old. And America had this big defense system that was the Russians and the Americans, and John Kennedy was president. And they had this big, giant radar set. And the base commander goes, "Who's in charge of this thing?" They said, "You see that little 20-year-old kid? He's in charge of this giant electrical radar set." So he started, they fired it up, I think it was 4 months later. The Cuban Missile Crisis took place. This is a pose. We pretend that there's people are fighting amongst themselves, but in reality, there are asuras, demons, not humans. My friends from Venus and the ascended masters of the solar hierarchy of light and the other worlds who work very closely with masters upon the earth have told me that these are intruders and interlopers. And they have very advanced technology, and they have, by default, been able to control this world. Now, I don't want to focus on the negativity because that is changing now. The long prophesied golden age is in process. But there were covenants established that allowed, we can call them Satan or the negative force, to actually rule the world. And the extraterrestrials that monitor and oversee life from Manavatara to Prayalaya, we have a day of Brahma. One day of Brahma is 12,000 years, so that's a day and a night. So when we look in the long term of the evolution of Earth, it's very long, and we live but a second. It's important that we have culture. And this brings me back again to the culture. And when I went to PSSM Global in Raleigh, the number of people that were created and how many people even here today have come this far to this lonely stretch of land to anchor the light and to create a vortex of truth in the name of Patriji. The science of pyramids and the power of meditation is overwhelming to me. The Indian culture life revolves around spirituality. There's many places in the world where the natives live close to the land and close to nature. But in India, you're especially blessed. You had many contacts with the beings from other realms in the Viyamanas. When Krishna came here, I had experiences with Sai Baba. He performed many miracles for me in my life. And he said that Krishna was 26 feet tall. And this is also talked about in the biblical scriptures. So there's many things that we don't really know about the history of the earth and things that we have these myths. A friend of mine has written 12 books on Venus. He got to go there. He's a Venusian historian. And Venus is the planet of love. And they are our closest neighbor, and they've watched over us. You know about the Sanatana Dharma. This comes from Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara was one of 4 brothers born on Venus. They became ascended masters in one lifetime. And he has watched over the earth. And he's had many incarnations and works through protecting the earth. He's been incarnated on world in the Pleiades and everywhere. Our solar system is very blessed with spiritual awareness, as is the star system Sirius. And we're going to be learning in the very near future our relationship with these great spiritual beings. And we are great spiritual beings. We must recognize that every one of us is made. All have different positions to serve and to fulfill our life. And so my teacher taught me, the first thing he said, the first couple of days, he said, read Autobiography of a Yogi. So at 16, I read this book. It was amazing. I think I read it again. You know, and I've read it through many years. And in 1978, Mahavatar Babaji initiated me into Kriya Yoga. And I've been meditating, probably not as much as I should have. But the presence and the Kriya technique is always with me. And so through these wonderful experiences that I've had with these masters blessing me, there came the meeting of the Ascended Masters from Venus. And there were kind of interesting stories that you can look on my website, and I'll tell you, but I met them and have videos of them. And Naresh, I shared with him and his lovely wife last night. And I'm going to be sharing this information on PSSM Global. I'm going to collaborate. I want my people to know the truth of the spiritual culture of India, the way that you all come together. And as usual, it's always the women. There's more women here. It's always because the women seek the spiritual truth. Men, you know, sometimes are better suited, but the women are the heart of the world. And we have to recognize that the great Shambhala in the Himalayas has moved to South America to the feminine vortex. That's happening right now. It's already, the feminine vortex is happening. In fact, the earth is no longer under control of the fallen angels. There are beings in higher dimensions like Babaji, very powerful, and they use their energies to parasite on humanity. We don't see it, but they're lower, we call them asuras, demons, and They've been aligned against mankind. We have always had the power, the consciousness to overthrow that. And through meditation and through our own connection to God, and by establishing virtues in our heart of honesty, loyalty, charity, faith, courage, confidence, loyalty, and perseverance. These things are what you take with you in life. You don't take with you a car. You don't take with you your house. You don't take with you all your degrees and your things. What you take with you is your service in your life. And one of the love of my life has been pyramids. So working with a great scientist who was working on the radar set when the UFOs came down at 15,000 miles an hour, they were going along the magnetic pathways, the Yamanas, to go down and watch over the Earth, and America and Russia fighting for who's going to destroy the world first. The power, the bellicose militarists, the greedy financiers, and the power-hungry politicians. They are not the heart of this world. We are the heart of this world. Remember that. Remember, everything you see on TV and the talk of this politician and that politician, that's all bitter. And what's been happening recently is an absolute lie and abomination. This is going to be revealed very soon to the outer world. My friends from Venus, I'm going to make a prophecy. They have told me in 2026, their spaceships will show up over Mount Shasta, the Grand Tetons, and Sedona, Arizona. And I say this now, little under 2 years, so that my words and my teachings and the teachings of Patriji and the Ascended Masters and the Truth of God and the Ascended Masters and meditation as a way to connect to God will be shown to be true. This will be known around the world. They will be appearing more and more. The government's lies to keep you in ignorance of the infinite nature of the other locusts. I met Prabhupada when I was 12 years old. There's a Hare Krishna temple. And I was on my motorbike and my bicycle, and he smiled and looked at me, and he talked about easy journey to other planets. That's when you exit your body in the astral. So my teacher, when I was 17 and 18, he would say, "Come up to the temple." And I knew I would come up, I would take my shoes off, and I would light incense in all four corners of every level of the house. I would sit down in the pyramid system. We had crystals and forms. So I was sitting there and was given certain breathing techniques, the Kriya Yoga technique, and I was using Dorjis and certain things like this. And I was, some point, I would leave my body. They would take me out of my body. I would watch the earth disappear. And it would be dark on this side and light on this side. I was taken and I was shown many things of the universe. And this is very hard to relate to on an astral journey. I wasn't physically meeting them, but I was being images and pictures, pictographed, like Egyptian hieroglyphics. And this was feeding me with knowledge of a spiritual nature. Can't believe it, because I'm still trying to comprehend and I'll say recapitulate all of those experiences. So when I'm going to go back to it, he was complaining about the UFOs. He was writing out the report. It's called the DDS 332 report, and they said they would just burn it. He goes, "You can't do that. It's illegal." And he knew all the codes. He was the smartest man in the room everywhere he went. We used to go when we have physicists. I'm a physicist, and they start talking, and he'd answer a question, then he'd answer another one. Then they'd go, oh, and then he'd ask them a question, they would sit down. So he was very smart, and so he was very strong actually. And so one day. vacation and energy goes, splits it into 7 levels like a rainbow, like Pink Floyd. So within each part of the pyramid is different frequency of color. We use lasers. Lasers and crystals. I suggest you get a little laser. On my website, I have ones that you can buy. Push a button and they stay on for 20 minutes. You put it into a crystal and you can see into the 7 levels of the physical plane. It's composed of solid, liquid, gas, ionic, and the first and second ether. Okay, those are the 7, the 7, the 7. 7 notes of the musical scale, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 chakras, 7 endocrine glands. In the body, we have 12 organ meridians, the acupuncture meridians. These meridians are the half nodes. So it comes into a chakra and it goes to a meridian. So what's the octave? In American music, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you go up the scale, there are 12 notes. 13 is the octave. 13 is the number of moon cycles in a year. We should have a calendar of 28 days. Things have been changed around. So we're going to be learning a lot, moving into a more natural harmony. And as the truth comes out, once the bad people that are in control of the world go away, we will have no more wars. We will have a flourishing planet, and pyramids will be reestablished. There are pyramids all over the world. They've been here for thousands of years, and they created free energy. The Great Pyramid was created 13,500 years ago, and it was used by spaceships and Anunnaki and the Atlanteans that Patriji talked about. And humans would hold the stones. They would levitate them. They were brought in by spaceships. These were not rolled up on things. It was ridiculous. At the end of Atlantis, King Atlan sent his daughter Maya to Central America, and they built those pyramids. And so pyramids are very important in understanding there's a sacred geometry there. The pyramids have above ground and a below ground. Just as in Chaco Canyon and all other places, there's an underground aspect of the earth and the heavens. And so these great teachings. Is it already 11:15? Have I been talking 45 minutes? Oh my goodness. Oh, Siram. Okay. So I want you to see these beautiful pyramids that Naresh has created with the polycarbonate. Plastic and aluminum should not be used in pyramids. I know that Patriji has the plastic pyramids, but you're better off with metal pyramids. They're stronger, they create stronger auras. You can see that. No disrespect to Patriji, but aluminum creates a positive ion. And pyramid means pyra in the middle, fire in the middle. So that is a life force. It's producing prana. Prana is produced by nature by water meeting air at the oceans in the waterfalls. Okay, and then it's also produced by plants. And the number one source of oxygen is the algae. And the algae grows in the first 60 feet of the oceans. That's where the oxygen comes, is the oceans and the algae. The rainforests are very important. Plants are very important. But we are deforesting the planet. We have many technologies and our materialistic nature of consumerism, and all the corporations are controlling the governments. These are private for profit, including the vaccine, the CDC, and all of these things. We have to be aware of what's taking place. We don't have to fight them. We ignore them. We step forward to the truth and we share knowledge of the pyramid. And the pyramid principle is a principle of matter made flesh. You can take a Carillion photograph that shows the aura, the bioelectric field of the body. You are an electrochemical community of cells. You have a vibrant aura. The North Pole is in the center of the brain. It comes down. You have an auric egg. And this fluctuates with your thoughts and feelings. And your thoughts are the most important thing, as well as the food, liquid and food digestion. And the pyramid There's so many things. You know that it keeps the razor blade sharp if you put it in the middle because it dries out the water molecules so they don't rust. And they used to be made of crystals, so it'll align the crystals. Everything, all food lasts longer in the pyramid. The pyramid has many advanced technologies, and on my website, there were Rashid's, who met my friend, who handed him this design in 1975 for Christmas. He said, I went up on board the Viamana, I'll say, and they gave me this design. We couldn't even create it because of the details it needed. Now with 3D printing, it's amazing. The quality is very good. The pyramids must be the 52-degree angles for the most beneficial body relationship. Inside the pyramid, it's an average of 68 degrees, which is the highest possible healthy temperature for the body. You divide the Great Pyramid in quarters, it divides the land masses exactly. There's different vortexes and portals around the planet. And there are many places of contact of the masters, and they're usually in high altitudes. But India has the highest and strongest, most spiritual resonance. When the space people go over the earth and they see who's the most spiritual, India gets a 7.5. America gets a 2. I don't know. It's very low. But because the people in India have a great culture, Sanat Kumara, the Upanishads, the Sama, the Vada, Rig Veda, these ancient teachings, these Shastras are important. And the myth of Hanuman and Ganesha, Ganesha is a real being. And on my website, there's a woman who lived on Venus, and she went to a meeting, and there was a Ganesha being. The Ganesha beings live on Saturn. He was a little being. She drew a picture of him. They're little avians, like all the pictures in Egypt. Those are real beings. We live in a multivariate universe, and it was interfering with the Earth. And so the technologies of the pyramids around the Earth are reminders to us that free energy was available. There's so many things there. And I'm so sorry I talked about the other things, but I wanted to establish in my heart the love for the Indian culture and all of you at PSSMUSA Global and the mission. And I want to thank you on my website. If you want to look at this and look at more, I'm going to be working with Naresh and going to be interviewing Sai Reddy and Venkat and anyone else he recommends. And
thank you.
take a bow, Patriji. That's my single to go. So I want to thank you very much. And my teacher from the other side had told me you need to meet this guy in India. And I looked, I couldn't find him. And then I was invited by Pari to speak in Raleigh, and it all came together. My guru said, you need to speak to this man in India. He's making copper pyramids. I found the Valley Pyramid in the 6,000-foot pyramid. And I was like, okay, I didn't understand who it was. And so he had to send Pari to me to invite me to speak. And when I saw everything that's happening, it's amazing. You pull off an event with 1,100 people and feed them for 3 days for free. America cannot imagine that. Everyone was so helpful, as all of you are here, coming here and taking the time out to plant this seed on this sacred land put together by the hearts of the community. Thank you so much, and God bless Patriji, PSSM Global, and thank you so much. Oh, I had a car accident in December, and I had whiplash in my spine. I had to have a surgery 1 month ago, so I'm walking a little funny. I hope the next time I see you, I'll be jogging.
I got my healing power.
Can you just be here 5 minutes? We have a small presentation for you for your wonderful talk. What an excellent speaker. Seriously. He went to Vimanas, to NASA, to Algae, to pyramids, to Sanatana Dharma, to Western gurus, to Eastern gurus. You covered a lot in 30 minutes. Hats off to you.
Thank you, Omega. You came back to Omega.
Omega, yes. Ended with Omega. That's what we want, right? Thank you so much for being here, enlightening us about most of the things which we really didn't know. So you combined it all pretty good. Thank you so much. Yeah. So as a small token of gift, I invite Omega team to please felicitate Mr. Robert Potter. Come on. Mr. Ramprasad Yamijala, Mr. Sharma Garu. Look at me, Mr. Sharma Garu. That's he's combining with West, right? Yeah. Please, come on. So while the felicitation is happening, I would definitely like to acknowledge we have great speakers like big round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
We want to show you without the mic.
No, this is my signature. So I get the next job very easy.
I want, I was gonna say, before we all go today, can we get a big group photo? Because I want to share this on my website. I'm gonna write an article and we're gonna be connecting. My website will have direct links to PSSM Global with the help of direct. What a blessing he is. And don't forget about PSSM Ignite, the new technology.
We are gonna announce it. Yes. So I would definitely like to acknowledge we have other great speakers here. Dr. Shane Yu, not you. So he is about to come, and then Master Carlin, Mr. Srikant Garla, and also the one and only Sai Kumar Garu. We'll know more about him a little later. So now I would like to just call upon Mr. Ramprasad Yamijala to speak about 15 minutes. You only have 15 minutes. He's my husband, so I can just give him. So to talk about what is this Omega Pyramid, just educate us, give us a little bit of guidance on where we are and what all we have to do. And I also heard Omega Pyramid gave birth to a small baby pyramid. You want to introduce the baby as well?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for coming here. I know it's a long ride from where you are. Thank you so much for coming across different states. Again, you see the land here. This is where we dream has actually come true. We were looking for a land like that for a long time. So if you see this entire pond and anything on left of that, that's the pyramid land for us. And as Chandrika rightly said, we are planning for 2 pyramids. One is a large 180 by 180, which will come in this corner here. And the small one, 54 by 54, will be somewhere in this corner here. And between that, you will have Annadanam or the food distribution center. There will be dormitories, coffee shop, and we will have bookstores and all other things like walking and stuff like that. So that's the overall plan that we have. We want to finish our alpha, which is the first one, by June of next year. It's a very tight schedule that we have. We are trying to figure out, how quickly can we. We have actually, just a good news is we have separated this land, which is the residential, with that few portion, which is more of a pyramid land, which is non-profit. The segregation of the land is already complete. We are working on the architecture and the site plan. We are submitting the site plan very soon. Maybe next, we are doing a topo survey. Site plan would be done before Christmas, is what we are hoping. And then we can start doing the groundwork. But before we go groundwork, so there's a very important part, everybody is here, are the funds to get it done. Right? So I will, it's too far, but maybe I'll try to do, see what we are looking at is to have about $1 million in our bank as a kitty to start the project. Because otherwise, we don't want a situation where we start the work and then halfway through funds are gone and we cannot complete the pyramid and the woods are sitting there, construction materials sitting there. We don't want that situation. We want to make sure that we can quickly finish. Perfect. So we can quickly get to that spot where we can start and close by June. We don't want that. So maybe I'll quickly draw. So I'm a consultant, so for me, it's all the whiteboard and the sketch pen. Without that, I just cannot think. Sorry. So this is about $1 million is what we are looking at to get the work done. What we have in the bank account currently is about $30,000 is what we have, which is somewhere here. The table. We are hoping that by end of the year, we will get about $100,000 in the bank, which is still here. That's just so much to cover. This whole portion has to be covered. So what we are thinking, we are hoping that we can achieve, and we want you to help with the funding that we can, and also spread the word. For what we're looking at is very simple math. We don't want to complicate things, right? So it's 400 units of $2,500 per family. So it's, when I say units, some people have already committed for more than one. So somebody will come and say, I'll take 2 units, but they give 5,000, so 2,500. But if you 400 people, 400 families, we have in Dallas registered about 1,000 people, adults. Even if I take 60% of them being family members and a single person there, you have close to 650 only in Dallas. If I include Austin, Houston, and other places, you have more than enough people who are like 1,000 people who are there who are part of pyramid as such. I mean, I'm not even talking about people who do not know anything about pyramid, people who are part of PSSM. So if you look at 400 people and 400 units, and if you pay $2,500 per unit or per family, or more than 1 unit per family, you will get $1 million. So now that gives us the starting point to start doing the groundwork, start doing the groundbreaking, and start the pyramid for the alpha. That includes the 2 parts to it. Alpha is a smaller pyramid. I know you must be thinking, why $1 million for an alpha? Thing is, alpha is only a portion of the funds, but we have to create a road or a main 50 feet road coming from the common all the way to alpha, and we have to have a septic and electricity as well, which is a county roads. The problem that we have is if I just take the road and the septic and everything else, that itself costs you $300,000. Because that's the whole county. Without that, we cannot even start any work on this. So keeping that, the other expenses that county is expecting from us, plus what we have to do for the pyramid, we are looking for close to $1 million. And we have about $100,000 we are hoping we can get by end of the year, which is again, a lot of expenses. That's all I wanted to leave a thought. If you are, I'm hoping everybody's interested, but if you're interested, please make sure you can provide your name. So we know we can come back, and then go from there. We will need, if possible, that 2,500 by end of the year so that we can start the work. But even if you are able to commit by the beginning of the year, by March, that will be a great help. That gives us enough funds to start the work. It will take about 6 months. So we want to make sure that by January, we have a groundbreaking and go from there. As soon as winter ends, we need to have a groundbreaking done. So that's the idea. I will leave that thought with you. Again, trying to keep the math as simple as possible so you don't get complicated. But we will make sure that everything that we do, it is very transparent, is provided all the details on the website. You will get a report out for everybody. And by the way, it's a 501c. So if you are doing it by end of the year, you can take all that towards your tax rate. Every one of you. And if you have one-on-one company match, that would be awesome because you would basically say if you pay 2,500, you have a company match of 2,500, that gives me 5,000. So you get 2 units, but and you get your tax break as well for us. So it makes our journey a little more faster. Yeah. Any questions if you have, we'll be there in the corner so we can.
I got a good idea for you.
Sure, absolutely. So that'll help us. Thank you so much.
Hey, I have an idea. Can we put some stones in the water so water comes?
Yeah, no, money actually goes down. Oh yeah, it doesn't come up. If you put them wall, it'll take it even further.
And when is the alpha baby due date, predicted due date?
2026. June 2026? No, 25, sorry. June 25, 26 is the Omega. So June 2026 is Omega, June 2025. Because I'm already into next year, I'm sorry.
So June 2025 is the alpha, June 2026 is omega. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So he has an idea, maybe you want to later.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I live in Junction and I've got two beautiful trees by my place. They're 400-year-old oak trees. So I can get you the big acorns from that. And then I just found some huge shade trees right here. And I've got all the seeds in my truck. I brought them for you.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
We want to put the trees in the corner there, yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Everything counts. So we have our next guest who is great in healing energy and scanning the DNA and energy levels. So I would like to introduce Master Shaolin. That's how you pronounce your name, ma'am? Shaolin is right? Yes, okay. So with 46 years of experience, Man Shaolin specializes in Akashic reading, healing, emotional healing. Akashic record healing, emotional healing, soul retrieval, curse removal, angelic intervention, and energetic healing through hands-on techniques. For over 35 years, she also been a reader of the Akashic records, focusing on healing DNA by removing negative patterns rooted in personal and ancestral experiences. So in our language, we call like Pitru, the Shapa, or all that stuff, right? The ancestral healing. And her work includes healing all descendants affected by this recorded pain. She is the author of Remembering Creator, God's Gift of Love, and dedicated to releasing human pain, transforming negative emotions into love for individuals, families, and communities. Her specialties include Master of Akashic Reading Healing and Spiritual DNA Healer, Intuitive Counselor, Dream and Visual Interpreter, teacher, writer, editor, and artist. Ma'am is a woman of law, wears a lot of hats. Ma'am, did you scan my energy levels? I've been shivering behind this mic. Maybe you already scanned it. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. With a big round of applause, please welcome Master Shaolin.
It's a rare privilege to be a part of a project this huge. It's for an incredible foresight for humanity. Oh, both are okay. I am utterly devoted to humanity and to anything that I can do. And I'm actually here because Naresh called me and he says, I'd like you to have, come, we're having a birthday celebration and talk. Well, I thought it was something that was going to be in his living room with a few people. And, and I would just talk. But because I am in service 24/7 for divinity, for Shiva, I always obey. So I immediately went to the airplane website and find the cheapest ticket I could find. I ordered one. I bought one, which is how I got stuck in Dallas. So I mean Denver, because it was cheaper to go to Denver in a snowstorm. We got stuck for a while, and Naresh got me out of there. He got me back to Dallas. Otherwise, I would have been here a little later and be more tired than I had been. But what I want to tell you about is what I did in meditation. I meditated for an hour one night when I was asked to come and ask, what is it you want me to talk about, Patriji? Because you can communicate with any ascended masters, and if you have developed the gift over time to see them, all you have to do to develop that gift, by the way, is to pretend to see them. You don't have to see like you're seeing each other here or seeing me up here. You can pretend that Patriji is standing right with me. Not just in a photograph, but you can pretend he is here. So what I'm going to ask you to do, either right now or in a little bit, I'm going to ask you to pretend to see, you either see him walking towards you, standing beside you, sitting beside you, putting his hand on your shoulder, or any other way that you want to visualize him. Because when I'm going to take you into a short meditation, and because I want to work on the body, the physical body of us. And we will extend that to humanity because I'm a spiritual warrior. The healing is actually coming from divinity. So I'm really actually not a healer. I'm an identifier of problem. There isn't such a thing as a healer. I mean, you can use your own body as magnetism. Yeah, that can happen. And you can use your psychology or your wisdom that you've learned over years to help a person or to help even an ancestor or some other being. But basically, you're never without friends in high places because we are never alone. There's, like I said, the ascended masters, there's angelic beings, there's demigods, and in India, you've got a plethora of them. You've got all kinds of names, but every culture does. In China, there was the Zen masters. A lot of them were located in northern China, and there was Tibet. There's just all over, even in South America, there is tremendous amount of knowledge in the past. But as Robert was saying, there is what I call, and other people call the hidden clandestine government that is trying to stop us. But nothing and nothing, no one is stronger than unconditional love. And we were created by our Creator, I believe, to be love, give love, receive love, and expand love. And that is our real being. But a lot of people have a lot of pain. And in my experience, you only have two emotions. You hear about people say there's love and hate. I disagree. My experience as a healer in the DNA, and when I say I got vast experience, I'm talking about I have healed people where their pain started back before there were any planets or there was any stars. And I remember being a carbonet. So there was we've had many, countless lives. And we've been everything, and we've been everywhere. And we will continue to expand in our knowledge and expand in our consciousness and raise up to a higher consciousness, which is what is happening right now in all of humanity. And I would like to say that they are, the negative forces are desperate and panicking, so they have to use the technology with the chemtrails. They're dropping nanobacteria, which can penetrate through your body and create malfunction and disease and a mental emotional problem. So what we're going to do today is, first off, I'm going to ask, and I do know there's at least a couple of you, but is there anyone here that has, before we go into the meditation, if there's anyone here, you can raise your hand or not, that no longer has a monkey mind that's gone into the first level of enlightenment? I know they may not want to identify themselves, but these individuals, you know who you are. You know the monkey mind is quiet. It's not there anymore. It's gone from being your great sort of taskmaster to being the great servant, and it's quiet. But you never lose it because you can remember memory. You have memory, you can access all of that. And the reason I say that is because I was in enlightenment for 5 days. I closed it down to please my husband at the time. He said, "Oh, you can get it back anytime." No, I got a monkey mind that was stronger than ever. But there are benefits because you can be very analytical with the monkey mind. And when you go to heal, you can be really, really detail oriented, like I am when I work. So what we're going to do is those who have been freed from the monkey mind, who are in that first stage of enlightenment, we're going to ask them, as we become still, we're going to ask them to go to source, because this is what happens. You and I have a monkey mind. We think all the time. We're always intellectual. We're analyzing stuff. We're considering stuff. We have intruding thoughts about what happened yesterday, what we're going to do next week. We never live in the now. We're always living in the past, or we're living in the future. Those who have gone into enlightenment are living now. That mind's quiet. It's not chattering anymore. And so they're in a bliss. About 90% of the time, they're quiet. They haven't lost their personality. So if they had an aggressive personality, or if they had tended to have certain personality traits that were not pleasant. They'll still have those. They're still human. They have personality, haven't lost it, but they're still in the list. Which means that unlike me, I'm always thinking, but I'm always looking. How can I fix something? How can I help somebody? What can I do? And not just individually, but planetarily. What can I do? What's the one thing that I can do that's most beneficial? So I asked Patriji, what do you want me to do? And he said, we're coming out of bacteria. Fine, I'll do that. Because in order to build things, you have to have a strong body in order, and you need to have a clear mind. And they're trying to mess with us. So it's really quite simple, because there is a love energy that just simply dissolves anything that isn't love. Simple as that. So before I go into the simple little meditation, I am going to share something that we recorded last night that I want to say. So like I said, when I go back, it's as easy for me to tap into a past life about any problem that a person can come to me for. It can be financial, can be a relationship with their mother, can be a relationship with their husband or wife, or their boss, or it can be they have an illness. It can be fourth stage breast cancer or whatever. I don't care. Whatever it is, I will be taken back to the originating cause. And that can sometimes be a long way away, or it can be just a few hundred years ago, or whatever. Because emotional pain is stuck in our DNA. And it can be stuck a long time. So we repeat and repeat and repeat the same imprint, is what the Tibetans call it. Anyway, so I was working on this woman, and I've gone back to start, I get a real incredible peace when I'm done. So we've gone through this past life stuff, and I've, helped her past person to remember, to realize this is all then and now and whatever, how I work. And I get a lot of help. And I thought it was done. And Kelly, who works with me and who helps me, said, there's something you need to know, you need to find. And I said, well, I thought it was done. And she didn't say it wasn't done. She said, you need to find a special place in the universe. And she said, go find a special place. I had no idea what she was talking about. And if you were like me, I thought the universe was rather large. And so I said, Kelly, I don't know where this special place is, and how am I going to find it? Because, when I talk to them, I'm not in any kind of, I have total respect, but, I'm a human. Do you not remember? I'm like kind of limited and stupid in the sense that I'm ignorant. I don't know all this stuff, so, so I said, well, where is it? I can't find it. You're asking me an impossible thing. I don't even know what I'm looking for. And she said, follow me. And we went very, very little back in time. And I'm looking at a form. And it had, if you get a hula hoop that's like a round hula hoop that, that's 3 feet in diameter. And I'm looking at this form. And it's like empty, a hole here. And it's a tightly woven or tightly cloth. Goes back about 6 feet, getting higher. And then it rounded at about 8 feet. It's like 8 feet long, 3 feet here, 6 feet widest, and she called it the empty pouch. And I go like, okay. So I look at the end and I see the universe. I come back out, it's all dark around me. And I go like, I wonder what this is. So I go close to it and let my consciousness touch it. And I was in shock because there was nothing there. It was the great nothing from which everything that exists has come. Now, of course, I have enough understanding to recognize that's impossible. You cannot contain nothingness. And yet it was there. And it's available to anyone. You can pretend, you can close your eyes and pretend to see what I just described. It can be in any kind of cloth. My cloth was a kind of a dove gray color, which I happen to see over Mother Mary's got this cloak thing that's over her that I would see her wearing, which would make sense that she would contain the great nothing, which is how she can heal. But the great nothing you feel a kind of calm bliss. And I know that the great masters can get there, but you and I have a little trouble with that one, being calm. But this great nothing. So I said, well, what do I do with this? Because it's, to me, just an object with a creative force in it that I don't understand. And by the way, the great nothing is a non-violent but destructive energy because it dissolves and erases memory so new creation can happen. It's really cool. Learned that from Krishnamurti in some lecture he had. And I thought, oh, he's describing it. Now I know what it is. So he was very, very serious about this non-violent destructive energy that erases memory. So let's say you're having a bad day, but you've already practiced seeing this object. And if you're having a bad day, what you do is you've got this emotional energy inside of you. You simply pretend to see the pouch or see it. It depends how visual you are, because everybody can daydream, so you can pretend to see something. You can pretend to see a candle or anything or a number. You can certainly pretend to see an empty pouch, which just is there, any kind of fabric. And the fabric is pushed. It's stuffed, crammed, full of absolutely nothing. The great nothing. And you go there and you have it there and you just imagine yourself in its presence, like a few feet from you or something. And you'll start to calm down. You'll start to relax. And then this is what she did that day when she told me I wasn't finished with this person. She said, now I want you to look for the dark energy in this woman's brain. Well, there is an area where there's some dark energy. She said, now simply say, bring a zero energy forward. Which means the empty pouch, the universe already knew what she needed to erase that memory that was causing that emotional pain that she had stuck in her brain. Then I was taken to the throat chakra. She did the same thing. Now, see, look for the dark energy and bring zero energy forward. Now, if it's a really intense emotional pain you're dealing with, like maybe you got really angry, which I was going to tell you about the two emotions. I'll get back to that in a minute because I want to stick with this one point. But then you just might have to go back several times and slowly dissipate it, because it depends on our face. It's possible to do it one time or not. It's possible, but we might have doubts, and we all have doubts. So I'm going to go back now to the other point I was trying to make. There's really only two emotions that I have found. One is love, of course, and the other one is grief. Grief, birth, anger, scorn, disdain, contempt, all negative emotions, despise, whatever, all of it. If I can find the grief, the originating grief in a person, that can be dissolved. But I have to identify it, then ask, okay, there it is, that's the problem, erase it, dissolve it, transform it, whatever, get rid of that pain. And get it out of that, not just that person, but their descendants. So if you have children and grandchildren, then you are pulling the tree out by the roots. And because I'm a visionary and I can tell if that's completely gone. And that can also, the person that I'm working with can also feel it. It's like they just become, sometimes they feel lighter, sometimes they'll say they have a warmth in their heart they've never felt before, or whatever. It's very rare that someone doesn't notice there's a change, because all that's happened is the garbage is gone. And now they're themselves. They're glorious, magnificent, wonderful, amazing self. For we are all children of the one source of life. We're all magnificent and glorious beings. But we've forgotten who we are often. And so we think, well, we're not that important. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, me? I'm insignificant. Oh, not to Creator, you're not. every one of you is the most important person or soul to him. Nobody's better than anybody else. We are all loved unconditionally. So now, I'd like you to become, you can cross your legs if you want to, or your ankles or whatever, but become still, close your eyes. Oh, hang on, we have a gentleman here, one of them. Sit down. No, don't apologize here. Just sit down. And by the way, learn to laugh at negativity and you disempower. I laugh at it a lot, like you think you're really powerful. To me, now you just, whatever, just a nuisance. Anyway, so I want you to close your eyes. And the first thing you're going to do before we do anything else, you can focus on your breathing, because I want you to ask Patriji to be with you. You might see him sit beside you. You might see him stand behind you. You might see him touch you or not. But just imagine he's there with you. Just feel that happy sense of humor that he has. Because I've met him and talked with him, so I know he was always smiling. And he just had this lightness about him. And then you're going to tell him that you want his help to manifest this pyramid. We need the funds, true, but we need the best construction crew to do all the work. We need the machinery. We need the skilled people to run the different equipment, the heavy duty equipment, or we need whatever we need to earth digging, deal, machinery stuff. But we also have him touch the soul in such a way he can see everything, because he's out on the other side now. Ask him to help manifest the people that can bring the funds. We may not know who that is. Maybe a famous person, maybe not famous, might be your next door neighbor. We don't know, but he knows. And tell him we'd like him also to not just help us with the construction crew, but any glitches that could happen, erase them, so that the construction is smooth, harmonious, efficient, and quick and easy of whatever is being constructed. And then you're going to ask him to help with your own life. Whatever you need. You know what bugs you. You know what makes you miserable or unhappy or frustrated or confused. Help him. Ask him to help you to bring harmony into your home. Harmony into your workspace or with your career. So things become in perfect timing. So you are always in the perfect place at the perfect time for everything to go right. And ask him also, while you're here, to talk to any ancestor programs you have that will cause I'm not worthy ideas. The programs that say I'm not good enough, I can't do this. Or any other programs that would block harmony in your home, harmony in the cellular structure of your body, in the molecular structure of your body. Ask him to help you to realign these. And now while you're here in this quiet space, feeling the presence of this great man with his complete and utter devotion to you and all humanity. He sacrificed a lot and didn't consider it a sacrifice to spread meditation and the knowledge of the blessings that pyramids bring everyone. So now if there's anyone here, and I know there is, those that do not have a monkey mind, please go to source, get the energy from source that dissolves nanobacteria. And as you bring that, I want you to bring it into your own body so that you bring complete balance and get rid of all the imbalances that nanobacteria cause. So you just simply dissolve. Now, because of who you are, it won't take long. Now I want you to spread that energy to everyone here. Those that are in meditation, but everyone that's standing around, those that are working or talking, and the little children, everyone, any age, including the one who's yelling. Spread that energy. Absorb it into your physical structure, into your molecular memory and structure, into your cellular memory and structure, and at the atomic level. And feel how much lighter your body begins to resonate, and how it makes you happy. You feel inside a rightness, a balance. And now, as you're letting this flow through your own structure, your own physical vehicle, you're going to take this energy. You don't have to know what it is, what it looks like. You just know it is. Because everything's available, nothing's impossible for the Creator. So now you're going to spread this to all of your loved ones. Maybe it's your co-workers who Bob, or your grandmother, or all of your family members, or your friends. You're going to spread it to them and let them be like they're almost doused in a pool of this wonderful, resonating, dissolving energy. So they're being restored to balance, to the normal blueprint balance that they were created with. Then you're going to let that energy start flowing out. We're not just going to cover the state of Texas. We're going to go from Texas. And this is going to be like a energy flood that flows gently over the whole land. We're going to start with the United States because we happen to be in that country. But we're not stopping there. We're going to send it all to the north and the south of North America, down slowly to Central America and in to South America. Down to all the way to Bolivia and Chile, which run at the very bottom. We're going to leave Antarctica because we're going across the ocean to India. And then we're going to flow that water over Bangladesh and all the things that head to China, that beautiful giant ancestor of ours. Flow it across, all the way across the whole of the earth, all the way, you know, Pakistan is part of that corner of India, but all the way across to all of the continent, up in Russia, Syria, all of that, all the way to the Arctic Circle. And we're going to also go over across the Baltic Sea to Sweden and Norway, and over to Iceland and Greenland. Then we're going to sweep that energy down through the ocean. We're going to start first in the north and just kind of pour it into the ocean. We're also going down to the very bottom of the ocean. So it joins with the water. So it flows all the way to the south. And now we're going to go to Antarctica. And then we're going to cross to the Pacific Ocean, catching all of the people that live in, all of those little islands and things, and over to Japan, Japan, an island, Australia. So we see now, we're going to step back a little bit and look at the beautiful planet we live on. And we're going to see that, wow, look at that. It's got this beautiful energy covering everywhere, even in the stratosphere. And we're going to thank Patriji for this beautiful idea, for this gift of knowledge. We're going to thank him and say thank you for being. Thank you for all the gifts you give us. We just have to ask for your help, and you're there because he's ascended. So he can help us. But you don't have to limit to just him. He has many friends. He used to talk about when you're in meditation, some people see visions. Write them down if you're one of those people when you come out of your meditation. Some people hear sounds or voices or get guidance to their thoughts. And some people astral travel. I'm not one of them. I wish I were. but it doesn't matter. Know that meditation is connecting with the one source of all knowledge, with utter balance, with truth. And it is the way to help yourself. I've taught you here how you can use the meditation and visualization to do whatever you want to do that's a holy, good, just, and right. And now I want you to feel the peace and the love from even the grass on the ground here. The trees, we have holy cedar trees all around. Feel all the love coming from every being, even the little insects we don't see that are maybe in the soil or above in the soil. For you are love, and you are love. And now I would like you to say the word please. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And slowly come back to center. And open your eyes when you are ready. Don't try and move out of your chair because this was very deep. And your astral body needs to actually readjust into your physical vehicle. If at some time you feel that you're, like stand up and you've been in a very deep meditation, you've been somewhere, and you feel kind of woozy, there is something you can do to get the astral body connected so you're back in it properly. And that is say your name and hit your chest. Like with me, it would be Cheryl, get back in your body. Cheryl, get back in your body. Cheryl, get back in your body. And then you will feel that you're stable. Because it can happen that you go so deep that you aren't totally, that astral body is not totally reunited with the physical. So that is my experience. That is what I wanted to share with you. But the Patriji said, no, you'll notice over here, I was very excited when we were coming. I said, oh my gosh, look at all these cedar trees. The Native Americans, this is the holiest tree to them. And they burn this, you know about sage to clear a house. Well, they use this because sage didn't grow everywhere, but cedar trees did. Now, this one here, see the blueberries? Those little blueberries, if you gather them, this is an eastern cedar tree. This particular one, called the eastern cedar tree, because it's the one that only every 2 years it produces these berries. Do you know what listerine? The listerine is kind of that clear yellowy one. All it is water and boiled cedar berry trees. That's it. It's just these blueberries. You can make your own mouthwash. You don't need, but you'll have to wait every 2 years and the berries. But this there, that one, I had the berries. And I got really excited about that, But these are actually their little seeds, of course. But you can harvest them and you boil them for like 3 hours. You can find online how to do it. and you've got natural streams. So that's why I asked if we could, because I know Patriji wants us to be one with the land. I asked, could we please put some cedar with his picture? Because he would appreciate that. So whenever you have a ceremony, you talk to the tree, say, I tell it that, and you could have a knife. We didn't have a knife, so we just broke it off. But it would be kinder to the tree to cut with a knife if you had one. Otherwise, tell it, may I have it, and only take one, like one of these front, like don't stick just one limb or something. Take it from different places on the tree, and you talk to anything, whether you think it hears you or not. Don't worry about that. Just follow your instinct. Oh, maybe I should do this tree. Yeah, I'll take that piece. Oh, well, look at that big one over there. I'll take that one. So you'll be guided even though you don't think you are. So has anybody got any questions? No question?
I tried to let him in, the breeze blew right then.
Oh, really? When you tried to let him in, you felt a breeze? Yeah, we will feel sometimes nature that is something that happens as confirmation. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Or it can be a cloudy day and all of a sudden one single ray of the sun opens up or something else, Yeah. So this is what I wanted to share today, and I wanted to make sure that we worked as best we could so that you understand you're a powerful spiritual being. You can do this, but you have to think about it, how to do it. And that's one of the things I'm really good at, because it wasn't 35 years. I gave my life over to Jesus when I was dying, and I was escaping my satanic father, and I didn't want to be in. And there was 3 holy wars fought over me between angels and demons. The end of the 3rd war, and I was terrified. It was very frightening. I was 24. I was terrified, and I just escaped. It took the death of my son, but he was a year and 2 weeks old. No, don't be sorry. He's reincarnated as my grandson today. So and he knows it. At least I've told his mother who he is. But you have and I've totally lost what I was going to tell you, so it's not important. I can't hear you, dear.
Talking about not just 30 years, how much experience.
Oh yeah, so it's 52 years. Yeah, that's when I started getting thrown back into my own past lives. And I'm not going to tell you what the first one is, but I do come from a line of holy people in the ancient past. And yet, when compared to true spiritual giants, I'm only, he was holding his hand, I'm like 10 inches tall. I may have great, honed some really incredible psychic gifts or spiritual gifts, whatever you want to call them. But spiritually, we're all old souls, but not like them. Not like them. The masters are, like I'm just 10 inches tall in one of their hands. So I'm aware I'm a little child. And when I put up one of your masters named Atman, he said, "You're so innocent." I said, "Yes, I know. I live in this world, but I'm not of it. I'm about 3 years old. Maybe. I think I might have gotten all the way to 5 now, but I'm just a little child." And you know how innocent little children are. Yeah, I said, "I know." He said, "I don't meet that many people that are so innocent." I said, "Yeah, I know. I'm just a little kid." Yeah. So don't ever think someone says, "Oh, yeah, so we've all had lots of lifetimes. Yeah, we're all old. But some are way older than us and have way more gifts than us. And you're always learning." So I just want to point out, I'm not the healer. The unconditional love is the healer. We all have plenty of people to help us. Oh, and thank you so much.
First of all, thank you so much for Nareshji bringing ma'am and all the other speakers to the podium. Thank you so much, Nareshji. So, ma'am, can you, please be here for a second?
Yes.
Here? Okay. So, beyond all the important things what you have shared, like we are all unique. Everybody is important for the creator. The one great thing you touched upon today is bringing the divine energy of Patriji. Actually, that is such a pivotal energy that we need to build the Omega pyramid right here. But so meditation today, it was just a true blessing, actually. So
His instructions, I'm on.
yes, yes. So can we have the felicitation music, please? I call upon Dr.Jeodispenza and his son and his wife to felicitate Master Taylor. The Sarah. So before we get into the cake cutting ceremony of today's important day, which is Patriji's birthday, so we'll have a small talk on actually Sharlin ma'am, she touched upon the construction, right? Basically, Patriji and whoever the divine masters, they may be sending not the money, but whoever the people who can do this job. So we have here among us Dr. Sheng Yu. So he's actually I would request him basically. He didn't initiate it. I'm requesting you on behalf of all of us here to share your meditation journey. And Dr. Sheng Yu is founding faculty of structural engineer and construction management. Now you ring the bell, right? Master's program from University of North Texas, Denton. Sir.
Thank you very much, everybody. I feel very excited to be here. Very honored to be in the same day with Dr. Patriji's birthday. I didn't know until they announced the importance of this gathering. I'm very new to the meditation, and I just want to do a self-introduction rather than give a speech. I still in the learning stage. I hope to learn more from everybody. I was introduced to meditation by my good friend, Chandler. We worked together for many years. Myself, I teaching and doing research in steel structures. We've been working together on many projects in the past few years. And he introduced me to meditation. I had the honor to meet a few masters about a couple weeks ago, maybe last month. So we practiced the meditation in my school. I feel very fresh after the 30 minutes practice. And I try to do this before my class, and my student Akuma was here, so it helped me a lot. Fresh my mind, bring the energy to the classrooms. I feel I have more interaction with students. I feel this is just very good for my mental, for my health, and I like to learn more to couple years ago, I got to know this event. I'm so excited to be here, and I hope to be become more involved, and also excited about the opportunity to be part of this pyramid project. And I'm really interested in building the transcends in steel, metal, or which material is best for the purpose. So yeah, this is my self-introduction, and I'm glad to be part of the journey. And thanks for this, for your welcoming invitation to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I didn't realize, ma'am, your manifestation comes so fast, isn't it? So you already promised us. Thank you. Sir, can you just please be here for a minute? As a small token of gift, Mr. Shrikant and Sai Kumar, sir. So can you please present this very, very small token of gift on behalf of Omega Pyramid?
Thank you.
We have one more. We have one more. You put your hands together. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by here. Thank you. So the next one is the actual celebration, the cake cutting ceremony of Patriji's birthday. So now we can have the group pictures with everybody, right? Okay. So let me bring the cake up here. And then we will actually disperse for lunch for some time. And when you come back, we will have pyramid workshops, and we have guest speakers like Mr. Shrikant Garu, and also Sai Kumar Reddy sir. He is a very special guest. I'm going to introduce about him a little later. But after the lunch, we are again gathering here, and then we learn more. Okay? All the kids? Yes, of course. So I call upon all the kids to be here. I know whoever is in this, what is that called? Inflated jumping area? Bouncing house, yeah. My kids are all grown up, so I just totally forgot those things. Bouncy house. It's right there. We will get it there. So I request everybody to please assemble here. Under the pyramid, we have the copper pyramid. We all get gathered around celebration, right? I think we need some music. I would request the guests to be here.
తీసుకోండి దాని పేరే జ్ఞానోదయం పిరమిడ్ మాస్టర్స్ ఎంతో మంది ఉన్నారు అలాంటి ఎంతో మంది పిరమిడ్ మాస్టర్లు ఆడి విద్యార్థులు ఉన్నాయి వారి యొక్క స్పెషల్ స్టోరీస్ ఆ ధ్యానంతో ఎలా ఉన్నారు
Everybody. Excuse me. Okay.
పత్రిజి భూమిపై పుట్టిన నాటి చిటికి పండుగ జనధాత్రికి పండుగ నాడి ప్రజలకు పండుగ ప్రజలకు పండుగ జన్మకు జాతికి పండుగ బోధనను చేసి మనలో జ్ఞానం నింపాడు విజ్ఞానం నింపాడు చేశాడు మార్గం చూపాడు సన్మార్గం చూపాడు సాధన మనిషికి నింపాడు సాధన చేశాడు పరిశోధన చేశాడు శాంతి తెలిపాడు మార్గం పరోపకారం ప్రధానమన్నాడు నడవనాదమన్నాడు సకల జీవనం మోక్షానికి కారణమన్నాడు ధ్యాన సాధని అన్నిటికన్నా ముఖ్యమన్నాడు అసాధ్యమన్నాడు కలిగిన నాడి We know you are celebrating with us. Thank you so much. So now we all can have group pictures and then just go ahead and have our lunch and please come back.
Along with lunch, okay?
Group
picture only if photographer got a cake.
Take picture.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, can you all say happy birthday, Patriji? You love it? All right, so we can all go for lunch and then cake will be served as a dessert. Thank you all.
Group picture. Group picture, group picture.
Group picture, boyfriend, sorry, wrong instruction. So let's gather for group picture. Near the podium, please. So count of 10, we can just finish this quickly. Go for lunch. 1. Group picture at the podium.
Stage, Maitreya. Stage.
Everybody, who is
Everyone go
happy
to the
and seated. Group picture.
Stage.
You all want to celebrate today, right? Celebrate with a picture. Group picture, guys, come on. Don't be shy. Naresh Garu is a professional photographer. He will cover it awesome. Kids in the front.
भाई लेके आता हूँ. So we need 4 chairs on the dais. Okay. Good. What happened, Jigar? Why did it coming? कौन जिगर क्यों नहीं आया? पता नहीं है. मैंने बात करने बोले मैंने फिर फोन किया उससे किया था. मैंने किया था. नहीं किया. मैं उल्टा फोन करते वो तो आने वाला है ना. कर रही है. अभी करता हूँ शाम को. ओके. हेलो. On the dial, sir. Nice meeting you. All the kids on the clock. All the kids on the clock. Next time I have to put it. I mentioned it. That's why I know. Bireti pada asal yang lena, asal rani bisa survive kan? Hospital, sanitary, dalam. కొంచెం ఈ పనులు ఫ్రీ ఉన్నాడు క్లయింట్ గా ఆశగా క్లయింట్ కొంచెం అట్లీస్ట్ కొంచెం రిలాక్సేషన్ డెఫినెట్లీ మన ఫ్యామిలీకి వాళ్ళకి చిన్న మోటివేషన్ ఇస్తున్నాం అట్లా అంటే మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ గ్రో అవుతుంది నేను అక్కడ ఉన్న ఎవరైనా ఫోన్ చేస్తాను ఎక్కడ ఒకటి 2-3 చైర్లు తీయండి అటు నుంచి మీరు అందరూ ట్రావెల్ కరండి కుదరదు మీకు 4 or 5 మాస్టర్స్ ఇక్కడ వచ్చేయండి అజయ్ భాయ్ బ్యాక్ బెంచ్ కనిపించట్లేదు నేను పట్టుకుంటా నువ్వు నాకు ఒక ఐఫోన్ Yeah, ready, everyone. నేను ఫోటోషాప్ అయిపోతా భయ్యా అయిపోయిందా సెల్ ఫోన్ ఫోటోగ్రాఫర్స్ అయిపోతే మేము కొంచెం పెద్ద కెమెరాలు పెట్టుకుంటాం ఇక్కడ ఓకే రెడీ వస్తాం చాలా ఒక్క నిమిషం ఓకే రెడీ అరవింద్ కార్నర్ వచ్చేసి ఓకే రెడీ 1 more సెల్ఫీ 1, 2, 3, Omega, okay? Omega. Hold, there's a photo. Where is the phone? Now we'll do a video. నేను తీస్తా ఫోటో మీరు వెళ్ళండి కాదు కాదు మీరు వెళ్ళండి నేను ఫోటో తీస్తా ఇప్పుడు ఫోటో అయిపోయినాక వెళ్దాం రెడీ వెల్కమ్ టు ఒమేగా పిరమిడ్ once again say jai ho Patriji once again thank you అన్న కొంచెం మెడికల్
I'm taking the video, Andy. Happy birthday, Patriji. I'm taking video, Andy. He's taking picture.
Yeah, I'm taking a picture, okay?
Happy birthday. One more.
Okay, one more. Last one. Okay, last one here. Okay, last one.
Okay.
Remember, you have to start ignite.
Voice.
All right. One more. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Yeah. Okay, right, guys. Here. Almost done. All right. Good. Thanks.
And last is a